Hi, I need to pick up the gym pass.
Okay, I'll need your university ID.
Here's my ID card.
I'll type up the pass for you right away.
Great, this is exciting. I can't wait to get started.
Oh, this is a wonderful gym.
That's what everybody has been saying. Everyone is talking about the new pool, the new indoor course. But what I love is all the classes.
The classes?
Yes, like the swimming and tennis classes and everything.
Oh yeah, but this pass doesn't entitle you to those.
It doesn't?
No, the classes fall into separate category.
But that's my whole reason for getting a pass. I mean, I was planning to take a swimming class.
But that's not how it works. This pass gives you access to the gym and to all the equipment, into the pool and so forth, but not with team practicing. So you have to check the schedule.
Which document is asked by the employee from the student? What all activities are accessible with the gym pass?
But what do I have to do if I want to take a class?
You have to 1. Register, and 2. Pay the fee for the class.
But that's not fair. People who play sports in the gym, they don't have to pay anything.
Yes, but they just come in and play or swim on their own. But taking a class, that is a different story. I mean, someone has to pay the instructor.
So if I want to enroll in a class,
Then you have to pay extra. The fee isn't very high, but there's a fee. So what class did you say you want to take?
swimming,
Okay, swimming classes are $30 a semester.
I guess I could swing that. But I'm still not convinced it's fair. So do I pay you?
Well, first, you need to talk to the instructor. They have to assess your level and steer you into the right class. You know, beginner, intermediate.
What is the procedure to take any class? What are the charges for swimming classes? Why does the student need to speak with the swimming instructor?
You mean I have to swim for them, show them what I can do?
No. You just tell them a little bit about your experiences and skills so they know what level you should be in.
Oh, okay. So I guess I'll need an appointment.
And I can make that for you right now. And I'll tell Up you about your gym ID card. You'll need it to get into the building. Now, about that appointment. How does Wednesday at 3 sound?
Fine.
Okay. Then you'll be meeting with Mark Guess. He's a swimming instructor. He also coaches the swim team.
Great. Thanks.
Does the student need to actually swim for her assessment? What is needed to access the building? When is the appointment with swimming instructor fixed for?
Hey, Jim, do you mind if I ask you about something?
Sure, Amy. What's up?
I'm thinking about leaving the history course.
Don't you like the course?
Yeah, of course I do. It's just that I'm worried that I won't have learned anything useful by the end of it. It's not like there are many jobs to be had. Historian.
But don't you find it fascinating?
I do, Jim. The course is great and the professors are all really enthused, but I just can't see the point of it all.
Well, what are you thinking of doing instead?
Maybe something like business or management.
Well, the way I see it, college isn't for making you employable. It's a golden opportunity to do the things you love for 4 years without being burdened by the outside world. The employability aspect is just an added bonus.
So what do you intend to do after?
I'm thinking of training as a teacher. That way, I can use what I've learned.
You'd be really good at that. You're really keen, and you really get people excited about what they're doing.
What I think you should do is go to the careers office and talk to them. They'll be able to tell you what sort of careers you can get with a background in history.
I talked to Professor Jacques already.
Oh, Professor Jacques doesn't know anything about that sort of thing. I doubt if she'd ever left the college since she entered it, and that must have been 50 years ago. See someone in the careers office.
Okay, I'll try that.
What is the main point of discussion?
Why is the woman concerned? What does the man appreciate most about studying at university? What is the advice given to the woman by the man? What is implied about Professor Jacques?
Hi, can you help me?
Sure, what's the problem?
I've got to write an essay on electrical distribution and transmission systems, but I can't find any suitable books in the engineering section on level 3.
Have you used the library search engine?
You mean where you type the keywords into the computer? Yes, I've done that. A couple of books come up, but they're not on the shelves. Someone's taken them out.
Well, I can put a reserve on them so that when the person brings them back to the library, we can put them on one side for you. Do you want me to do that?
I don't know, but ideally, I'd like to get started on my essay sooner rather than later.
Well, there are some other options. Have you used the journal database?
No, what's that?
Didn't you go on a library induction tour in the first week of term? They were running 5 days a week, morning and afternoon.
No, I was ill that week.
Well, we still do 2 library inductions a week on Wednesdays, and I recommend you go on one of them. You can sign up at the desk on level 2.
Yes, I probably should do that.
Well, I'll just quickly show you how you can use the journal database. If you go onto the library homepage on the computer, click on Databases. Here in the top right-hand corner, it takes you to all the e-journals that we have access to here at the university library. You can use the search engine to find journals that are related to your keywords.
Wow.
So that's a good place to start. Meanwhile, you can always go and talk to your subject librarian. The person for electrical engineering is John Taylor. His office is on level 4.
Will he be there now?
Let me see. What's the time? 12:15. He'll probably be on lunch, or if not, he'll be going at 12:30. You'd be best to wait and come back at around 2. Then you'll be more likely to catch him.
Okay, thank you.
Which of the following has Mark done already? On how many days per week are library inductions currently available? Why did Mark not attend a library induction tour at the beginning of the term? What can Mark do at level 2? Where on the library homepage is the link to the database of journals? What time does the librarian recommend that Mark returns to meet the subject librarian?
According to a popular view, creativity is a product of the brain's right hemisphere. Innovative people are considered right brain thinkers, while left brain thinkers are thought to be analytical and logical. A new brain imaging study out of Drexel University's Creativity Research Lab sheds light on this controversy by studying the brain activity of jazz guitarists during improvisation. The study, which was recently published in the journal Neuroimage, showed that creativity is, in fact, driven primarily by the right hemisphere in musicians who are comparatively inexperienced at improvisation. However, musicians who are highly experienced at improvisation rely primarily on their left hemisphere. This suggests that creativity is a right brain ability when a person deals with an unfamiliar situation, but that creativity draws on well-learned left hemisphere routines when a person is experienced at the task. By taking into consideration how brain activity changes with experience, this research may contribute to the development of new methods for training people to be creative in their field. For instance, when a person is an expert, his or her performing is produced primarily by relatively unconscious, automatic processes that are difficult for a person to consciously alter, but easy to disrupt in the attempt, as when self-consciousness causes a person to choke or falter. In contrast, novices' performances tend to be under deliberate, conscious control. Thus, they are better able to make adjustments according to instructions given by a teacher or coach.
Question, should we tell our kids how much money we make?
So ours are a little small, but have you gotten the dad, are we rich? Dad, how much do you make?
Yeah, we've had, yes.
Yeah.
They ask, are
I
we
think almost
rich?
all
Or,
kids
oh,
do.
this friend of yours is rich? Or are we, they want to know.
And they think about this stuff. So how much should we,
I mean, at first they think you get that you never have any bills, that you don't have to pay anything.
They don't see
Just
that.
teaching them that you are paying for it. You know how much
Yes.
the electricity costs.
Right.
You know? Yeah.
So it was interesting because we talked to people who were very concerned about telling kids how much they make, concerned even about talking about money.
Why? What's the fear?
I think the fear is that people themselves feel like they don't know as much about money and they don't know how to talk to to kids about that money. Maybe their habits aren't that great and they're not sure exactly what to say to their kids.
So you talked to, I thought that your expert, what was her title?
She was a financial, she teaches financial parenting.
Yeah, which I thought was,
it was
really
fascinating.
fascinating. But what did she say? Is there a right or a wrong way to handle this? Should everyone be telling their kids how much they make?
So, I mean, every family is different. It depends on how much you're willing to share, what your values are. But what her point is, like, don't just say, hey, you know, honey, I make 50 grand a year and leave it at that. You have to say,
they're going to say like, oh, that's
a ton of money.
Right.
So maybe what you do is you say, hey, look, we make 50 grand a year, but, you know, $10,000 of that goes right for our taxes. $10,000 of that goes right to pay for the home where we live.
Yeah.
We also pay
Take the
for
mystery
our
out of
gas.
it.
We pay to keep our lights on and explain to them, here's what we're paying for, here's how much that costs, and here's how we're saving.
I think it's easier to have these conversations if your family has money than if you don't have money, maybe trying to shield your kids from those difficult conversations. But I don't think that avoiding this altogether, now granted I'm not a financial parenting expert here, but I think avoiding those conversations altogether just sets your kids up for failure later in life because they have no financial education.
Yes, and the financial parenting expert would agree with you.
Oh, good. Okay.
On that. But here's the thing. So we talked to one dad, if you watch the story, he said, well, I'm concerned if I tell my kids how much I make, then they're going to go to their friends and say, hey, my mom and dad make this much. How much do yours make?
Which they will.
Start
They will.
comparing.
Right.
And is that an appropriate thing to do? But if you give it to them in context, that's really different.
And it's age appropriate. You know, my kids are still middle school and fifth grade. It's a little young to say the exact amount. But we talked the other day, they saw a sign at a McDonald's saying that they were hiring people for $15 an hour. We said, okay, let's do the math on that. Like that would be about $30,000 a year.
Right.
You know, you at least set a baseline for kids to have those conversations as you get older.
In daily life, here's the bills that I'm paying. This is how much money dinner costs. Those
how
types
much
of
you're
things.
maybe it'll help parents become a little more comfortable with their own finances too. If you have to sit down and actually look
Tell
at
them
it.
how much they cost. Here's how much your stupid sock costs.
Emphasizing more play, hands-on learning, and students helping one another in kindergarten improves academic outcomes, self-control, and attention regulation, finds new UBC research. The study, published today in the journal PLOS ONE, found this approach to kindergarten curriculum also enhanced children's joy in learning and teachers' enjoyment of teaching, and reduced bullying, peer ostracism, and teacher burnout. Before children have the ability to sit for long periods absorbing information the way it is traditionally presented in school through lectures, they need to be allowed to be active and encouraged to learn by doing, said Dr. Adele Diamond, the study's lead author and a professor in the UBC Department of Psychiatry. Indeed, people of all ages learn better by doing than by being told. Through a randomized controlled trial, Diamond and her colleague, Dr. Elena Leong, analyzed the effectiveness of a curriculum called TOOLS. Its foundational principle is that social emotional development and improving self-control is as important as teaching academic skills and content. Executive functioning skills are necessary for learning and are often more strongly associated with school readiness than intelligence quotient, IQ, said Leong. Curriculum was introduced to willing kindergarten teachers and 351 children with diverse socioeconomic backgrounds in 18 public schools across the school districts of Vancouver and Surrey. Teachers reported more helping behavior and greater sense of community in TOOLS classes. Late in the school year, TOOLS teachers reported still feeling energized and excited about teaching. I have enjoyed seeing the enormous progress my students have made in writing and reading. I have never had so many students writing 2 or 3 sentences by the end of kindergarten, said Susan Kochan, a TOOLS teacher in Vancouver. I have also enjoyed seeing the students get so excited about coming to school and learning. They loved all the activities we did so much that many students didn't want to miss school, even if they were sick.